Welcome, friends. This is Archangel. It's a boy, and with those words, a shovel is born. Knowing the heartache and torment, the abuse and dysfunction that lies ahead for these loathsome creatures, "It's a boy" is one of the saddest phrases uttered in today's world, because it simply means another expendable whipping boy to pull the plow through humanity's pastures, another bag of meat to be abused and slaughtered. When males are young, they have promise, unlimited brilliance, until we crush their spirit, douse their luminosity, and they simply end up creatures abusing themselves and other males in order to get others to simply acknowledge their very existence. We treat males as bananas. We rip them open and steal their fruit, which is their life essence in the form of utility. Then we unceremoniously throw them away like the banana peel we merely chuck out the car window. And the male, like the peel, lies there, broken, rotting, violated, and useless. A miserable shell just decomposing on the side of the road. This is the plight of males. We use them. They rot away physically and emotionally until they die. We prop up and tolerate juvenile males because, for one, they are a paycheck to a female, and two, we begin their training and servitude as shovels, which will hopefully give society at least 4 or 5 decades of service from the shovel before he breaks down and becomes obsolete and another drone picks up his slack. Male blood and pain are everywhere. There is a wasteland full of male wreckage that surrounds us. We use males, then discard them. In some cases, discardation means death. In other situations, discardation is merely abandoning and forgetting males. The other night, I saw a sad scene. A male, old and run down, with his old man slippers, his swim trunks, and a towel slung over his hunched shoulders, shuffled his way down the hall to the pool. About 20 minutes later, I looked in on the pool, and there was this man sitting on the pool steps, slumped over against the hand railing. The water was glassy, smooth, not moving. This man had given the best years of his life serving females and carrying a gynocentric society. Now everybody had abandoned him, and the promise a young boy once held ended up as this shell of a soul slumped over at a pool's edge, motionless, staring out with dead eyes, miserable, alone, and unmoving at 10:30 at night. It was sad seeing him there, broken, used up, simply decaying towards mortality, and nobody to care about him. This is where discarded males end up, miserable, broken, and forgotten. This is the torment that awaits males whom we do not succeed in killing prematurely. I know of another man who was doing his traditionalist duty and relinquishing his dreams in order to provide for a family. Then, when he got Parkinson's, suddenly all the sacrifice and years he toiled for them accounted for nothing, as he was now a liability, and the greedy mouths he served most of his life now abandoned him. This hard-working provider was now an embarrassment to them. The wife would simply drop him off at the gym for hours to let them babysit him while she went and shopped or played bingo. Then she would simply come back and wait in the car at the front doors for this guy to come out. She can't even be bothered to get out of the car and come in to help this shaky male. Sometimes the adult daughter will come in to get him, and she gets impatient and rude with him because he is taking too long walking down the hall, shaking and wobbling. This man, who still has wit and sparkle in his eye, has been marginalized by everyone because he no longer produces utility. I know of and see males like this everywhere and have seen this all my life. Look around. You will see male tears brushed aside, male pain ignored, male suffering laughed at, male life devalued, male sorrow mocked, male heartache disregarded, and male life extinguished simply to enrich others. Open your eyes and see the male wreckage that I have seen all my life. The same male wreckage gynocentrism and traditionalism causes. The same male wreckage each of us contribute to by devaluing males. The same homeless wreckage begging for change that most simply ignore. The same Y-chromosomed wreckage that starts life with genital mutilation, continues with female service, and ends with discardation of the useless banana peels whom we leave in misery and decay to live in refrigerator boxes, old folks' homes, or in some anonymous plot at the cemetery. This is what humanity does. We use males, then discard them. How can you tolerate looking into the eyes of a boy today, knowing that they will be used, then discarded? How do you truly say you love any male child while failing to protect him from this heartache and misery that society has all planned out for him? How can we justify bringing male life into this brutal existence? These males were once someone's sweet, precious little boys with limitless potential. You see, this is the end result of male existence, usury and discardation. At the end of the day, this is what I see. I see male wreckage, male pain, male discardation. All the patriarchy or gynocentrism talk, all the male privilege or feminist or gender and sexism, all hypothesis and debate aside, this is what I observe. Females are cared for and protected. Males are used, abandoned, and discarded. How do we get to a point where we care not about males' welfare or suffering? We devalue them, which reduces their worth compared to females and justifies their expendability. Everything from chivalry to shaming to all the mockery of males. All this devalues males, making them worth less than females. We devalue males in order to dehumanize them and justify using them as cattle for their utility. When they are used up, we simply throw them away. Forget about them, abandon them, betray the sacrifices they have made for others. We would prefer that males simply die in the line of utility because we loathe broken down utilities cluttering up our environments. Since we don't have formalized junkyards where we can drop off the broken down males, we try to sweep them under the rug, out of polite society. So abandoned buildings or condemned houses in the ghetto, the back alleys, the train yards, the city parks, these become the junkyards of broken down Y chromosomes who are discarded by society. Look around. You will see the wreckage that everyone else ignores, because it is unpleasant to acknowledge a former shovel that we maliciously used, then discarded, who now holds a sign begging for change. We will not allow females to go without, but we completely turn a blind eye to male suffering or heartache. What sex do you see holding cardboard signs on the street corner? Exactly, males. We diminish these brilliant beings to shameful slugs begging for pity on street corners. That's right, males are so uncared for, they are simply reduced to that of a grotesque wretch, begging and pleading for compassion from strangers while behind a cardboard sign. This is a cruel form of discardation, being ignored like they don't exist, and these males simply begging to be acknowledged. I sat and watched a man with a cardboard sign once for about an hour, and most people that passed by simply acted like he wasn't even there, and the only people I saw give him any change or acknowledgement were males, not a single female. If that was a female holding that sign, there would have been a community outreach and possibly a news story on her. We are embarrassed of our male wreckage, and so ignoring them is the easiest way to deal with them. If males were courteous, they would provide utility, then die, so we did not have to deal with broken down utilities, broken down shovels, and be reminded of how we use and abuse them. I stopped at a grocery store late one night, and I saw an overwhelming number of males. old and sad, pushing shopping carts around the aisles. It seemed these males waited until non-peak hours to venture out for their food. During the day, they most likely stayed out of sight of polite society. Their despair was palpable. We don't realize the male wreckage out there because most of it stays out of our sight. Oh, how we love to court and feed the egos of males that serve and produce, but we hate to acknowledge males that break down and need help. We tell males all kinds of flatteries to get them into the military, but when they are injured physically or psychologically, then they are an inconvenience, and they have 8 or 9 month waiting lists just to be seen at VA hospitals. Males are such beautiful beings of light and creativity until a jealous world defiles them and beats them into the ground. We discard males. When they produce, we tolerate them. When they do not, we sweep them under the rug and forget about them. If males are not discarded, then riddle me this. What sex leads homelessness? What sex is standing behind most cardboard signs begging? What sex dominates suicide statistics? How can we ignore their pain? How can we pretend like they do not exist? How can we sleep with male wreckage that we contribute to? Tell me I am full of it. Tell me I exaggerate. Tell me I am misogynistic because I fight for male welfare. Tell me I hate my mom or sisters because I fight for my brothers. Try shaming me into conformity. Try drowning out my message in order to turn attention back onto the coddled and pampered. Try discarding me. Actually, I have been discarded because I do not conform. Yet now, I, the discarded, seek to undermine and bring down the paradigm which discarded me. I desire males to be introduced to their true brilliance and beauty, and to walk away from gynocentrism before they can be discarded or abandoned to decay and misery. My brothers, don't be discarded. Walk away. Tell the vaginisty, you can't fire me, I quit. Then take a few coworkers with you. My brothers, you are not wreckage. You are males, glorious and powerful. You are the creative forces of this existence. You have been mistreated by everyone, and I am sorry. My friends, rise up. Turn your betrayal and abuse into righteous revolution and help other males escape pain and misery. My brothers, stand with me, live free.